Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be making part 2 of my series to show how to draw different skin tones using color pencil. I will link my previous video in the description below, which is about dark skin. It's the drawing above, so check that out if you're interested to see how I drew that. So as before, I will be using 4 main base colors to lay down the foundation for the skin. Orange, red, gray, and purple. Those are the 4 colors that I feel most skin tones include and are the foundation for most of them. Although these will not be the only colors that I will use them very frequently throughout the drawing, so I just wanted to show you guys what they were. For orange, I will use ochre brulee like I did last time because it truly is the best orangey brown color for the skin. Henna, which is quite warm but a cool toned, which is great for bringing out the olive undertones in tan skin. 70% French gray, which again is a cool tone and balances out the other colors quite nicely. And lilac, because it is the best purple to use on skin, and I used it on the last skin tutorial as well. So without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. First, I always start with the light points of the face. I always like to go in with that white color, especially if I'm drawing on tan or gray paper. I always recommend placing the white on the highlights and the dewiness of the skin and working around it, building up an eventual darker resolution and not going in too roughly, just flickering away with light brush strokes almost, like you would with a paintbrush, but not exactly. So my primary focus first is the eyes. I won't spend too much time talking about them because I made a separate video discussing how to get realistic eyeballs using color pencil that I will link below. But in this video, I broke it up a little bit differently than in my previous skin video. I decided to focus on concentrated areas like I'm doing with the eyes, and I found this helped me to focus a little bit better. Just a quick tip, eyes are never actually white, so remember to add in those shadows. I then started using ochre brulee, going back and forth with that white to get my desired product, and just focusing that color around the eyes and mouth where I see that color is the most obvious. Then with that lilac color, I go over the ochre brulee and add shadows, yet a cool toned effect to the skin. Purple is very important, especially in darker to medium skin, so make sure to include that and not just stick to brown and peach colors. Here I showed my technique in real time, just softly layering the color and not blending roughly, because then it will be difficult to add other colors to the paper and then you might get a little bit of that wax bloom, which is very difficult to work with. Lilac kind of acts as my base for my shadows. It's almost like the in-between before the dark grays or blacks, so I make sure to use it sparingly yet very lightly because I want to make sure I leave room for my grays to go on. I'm going in with that henna color and repeating that technique of layering my pencils, especially around the eyes that I want to keep glossy, and I avoid the white areas that I've already established with my white color pencil. Now I go in with my last base color of 70% French gray to re-establish my shadows that my lilac color already outlined for me. I find that going with the gray before going in with black makes your artwork appear a lot smoother than going directly with that very dark black. Now that my foundation is all done with and I've used my 4 foundation colors, I began adding different colors of reds, browns, and beiges. I wanted to mention a color, green ochre, which is a green color with a grayish brownish tint to it, which I applied throughout the drawing to give it an olive tint. Obviously, olive tone skin is not literally green, but that use of that color was helpful to bring out the greens in her skin. At least I feel like it was. If you notice, I keep going in with that white color, which goes against most color pencil rules that I've already established. I guess because I do want the skin to be quite dewy, so as long as I haven't already applied a much darker color and blended them in quite well, then adding more white to get the appearance of shine or light is fine. Here I wanted to show a technique that I guess my hand is kind of blocking, and I apologize for that, but I added small white dots to show small creases around the eyes and then traced them around with gray and reddish colors. I do this to emphasize those small wrinkles around the eye. I find that this technique makes the skin look a lot more realistic because the eyes do have so many tiny wrinkles and crevices that the common eye can't notice, so just make sure to include that in there. Now I'm just focusing on that eye area again. I find that the eyes are the first place that people's eyes are drawn to, so spending the most amount of time on the eyes will benefit your drawing. I definitely made the eyes too far apart, and that's my fault. It affected my drawing, but I still tried to get the best result possible by adding as many details as possible. Oh yeah, doing those eyebrows making the drawing look so much better. It's a little less awkward now, I hope. And of course those nostrils. When I'm finally able to add black, it's so satisfying for me. And now I'm able to shade in the nose, which is quite difficult for me because her head was tilted quite weird in that angle. But I tried my best and applied those shadows where I saw them fit. And now I'm really just finishing up the skin and adding those last minute shadows around the forehead and jaw area. And I'm just leaving those lips for last. And finally, I'm at the lips, adding a mixture of light pink and that henna color, as well as a few other beige and gray colors. And the hair, which I absolutely hate doing, but I tried my best. And that's my drawing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to watch my other skin tutorial and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see one about pale skin. Hopefully I'll be able to make that one in the next 1 or 2 weeks. I make videos every Wednesday, so make sure to subscribe to get a notification when you see one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again.